Hello, operator. Can you please connect me with OTR Halloween Holidays? I don't want to miss this episode of the Bah Ghoulie Show.
A mysterious traveler.
This is the mysterious traveler, inviting you to join me on another journey into the realm of the strange and the terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, and it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back, get a good grip on your nerve, and be comfortable, if you can. It is midnight, and an old automobile is driving along a narrow road through the woods. At a point where a second road, even narrower, crosses the first, the car stops.
Here you are, young fella. This is the professor's place.
Is it? All I can see is woods.
It's up that road about 50 yards. Look sharp and you can see the light shining between them two trees.
Huh? Oh, yes, I see it now. Then I guess I get out here. Would you hand me my bag, Sheriff Ramsey?
Right. Here you are.
Thanks. And that's $1 I owe you, right?
Yep. Thank you. You know the professor, do you?
Yes. I was Professor Clark's laboratory assistant back in college 10 years ago.
Oh.
Why?
I was thinking maybe you could drop a hint to him.
A hint? What kind of a hint?
Well, that there's been some talk in town of running him and that man of his, that Barton fell out of the county.
Running Professor Clark? Oh, you're not serious.
Yep. Of course, it's just talk. So far.
But what has anybody got against Professor Clark? There isn't a milder man in the world.
Well, maybe so, but folks has got wind of what happened at the state penitentiary over in Hillvale last year.
Sheriff, you're talking in riddles. What did happen?
The professor went over there when they hanged Richard, that hold-up killer.
Uh-huh.
And the warden gave the professor the murderer's brain. That's what happened.
Well, what of it? Professor Clark is a great authority on nerve and brain tissues. Maybe he wanted it for research purposes.
Yeah, I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just telling you how folks are talking. They think he's keeping that brain in a big glass jar and making it grow.
Oh, that's perfectly ridiculous.
Well, they don't think so. They got the notion that brain is as big as a bull calf by now, and they're afraid someday it'll escape.
Sheriff, for a minute I was taking you seriously. A brain as big as a calf?
Oh, I'm not saying I ever believed it, but it'd be a good idea if the professor'd give folks the notion of what he's really doing in that laboratory of his, with that Barton fella to help him. Then maybe the talk would die down.
I understand. All right, Sheriff, I'll mention it to him.
Well, then I'll be getting on. Good night, young fella.
Good night, Sheriff.
Right up that road about 50 yards. You can't miss it.
A few moments later, Dr. Richard Dale was knocking on the door of an old stone house almost hidden among the trees. A frail, white-haired old man answered the door. An old man who could hardly speak in his joy as he gripped Richard Dale's hand. He led the way down a long hall to a great room where strange equipment took up almost every inch of space. Retorts and electric furnaces, generators, batteries, and great glass vats. Dr. Dale stared around him in intense curiosity as Professor Clark helped him off with his hat and coat.
There. Now, sit down, Dick, my boy. Sit down and let me get a good look at you. So, you got my letter? Yes, of course you did, or you wouldn't be here.
Thanks, Professor. Yes, I got your letter. And it made me so curious I took the first train. You promised me a surprise. Well, is this it? This amazing laboratory?
No, my boy. I'll come to that in a moment after you've met Barton, my assistant.
Barton? I don't seem to know the name. Should I?
No, he's not famous yet. But he will be. He's been with me only a few months, but I couldn't get along without him.
He certainly sounds interesting.
You'll like him, I'm sure you will. Barton,
Yes, Professor?
Dr. Dale has arrived. I want you to meet him.
Why, of course. How do you do, Dr. Dale? We've both of us been looking forward to your visit.
How do you do? Yes, the professor's letter made me so curious I couldn't stay away. I'm still wondering what the great surprise is he promised me.
You'll see, Dick, in just a minute.
My curiosity's at fever pitch.
Well, it's time to satisfy it. Barton, is Alpha making some coffee?
Yes, he started it when we heard the car.
Alpha? Who is he?
Our general man of all work.
Truly amazing fellow. Here he comes now.
Shall Alpha serve coffee?
Good heavens.
I said you'd be surprised, Dick.
He's not human. He's a machine. A robot.
Yes, my boy. An artificial man made from metal and synthetic brain tissue.
A machine man. But walking and talking.
He's not very pretty, but then the professor was mostly interested in making sure he'd work.
He must weigh a ton.
No, only about 300 pounds. You see, Alpha's mostly aluminum and other light alloys. Inside his aluminum plates are some new batteries I devised, together with miles of fine silver wire and a dozen electric motors. And to give you only the highlights.
It's a good thing you did keep this for a surprise. If you had mentioned it in your letter, I don't think I would have believed you.
Shall Alpha serve coffee now?
Yes, Alpha. Put it on this table here, and pour a cup for Dr. Dale.
Alpha do so.
Still can't make myself believe it.
Alpha poured coffee.
Go on, Dick. Take it.
Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Al, thank you.
Alpha, this is Dr. Dale, our guest. Any orders he gives are to be obeyed.
Alpha understands.
He looks clumsy, but he poured the coffee as well as a man could.
Yes, my boy, Alpha has capabilities you'd never suspect to look at him. Here, I'll show you. Alpha.
Alpha hears.
The fireplace needs more wood. Put on that big log there.
Alpha do it. Alpha has log.
Now, break it in half.
Alpha break it.
6-inch log, and he's breaking it with his hands.
Alpha put log on fire.
Good. We won't need you any more tonight, Alpha.
You can go back to your room now.
Alpha is going.
Be sure to switch off your batteries. They're going to need recharging tomorrow.
Alpha understands.
That's the most incredible thing I ever saw.
You see, Dick, I try to treat Alpha as if he were really a man. So I give him a room of his own. Like any machine, he's completely inactive when his batteries have been switched off. But his brain continues to function. It's an artificial protoplasm that I spent 8 years creating. It's the only thing that makes him different from any other machine.
But it means Alpha can think. Think like a man.
A machine that can walk and talk and think.
Ah, but Alpha's not the only surprise I have for you, Dick.
He's not?
No, I have another one, even more astonishing. But you'll have to wait until morning to learn about that. Because now it's time we were both in bed.
I suppose you're right. It's after 1.
I know you must be tired. I'm getting old. So I'm going up to bed now, Dick. Barton will show you to your room.
Of course, Professor. I'll see you in the morning, then.
Yes. We'll have a long talk tomorrow. Good night.
Good night, Professor Clark.
Dr. Dale.
Yes, Barton?
Could we talk for a minute before I show you to your room?
Oh, yes, of course.
It occurs to me the professor forgot to tell you why he asked you here.
Why, yes, that's true. And I've been so interested I forgot to ask.
It was his hope that you'd stay indefinitely and help us carry forward the work we've been doing here.
Stay indefinitely? Well, I have my own work.
Don't say no yet. Now just think, Dr. Dale. Alpha is stronger and more rugged than a man. He needs no rest, no food. Yet he can do the work of 3 men. He can plow, reap, run machinery. Think how much drudgery a million like him could lift from mankind's shoulders.
Yes, that's true.
And already Alpha is technically obsolete. Professor Clark has the blueprints for a new machine man, as superior to Alpha as an airplane is to a bicycle. We want you to help us build them.
Well, I'm certainly tempted. Perhaps I could arrange.
Ah, excellent. And now there's only one more thing I want to tell you.
Yes? What is it?
It's about Alpha. You must help me persuade the professor to dismantle him.
Dismantle him? Why?
He has become dangerous.
I don't understand.
Because he was the first successful machine man that the professor built. He is imperfect in many ways. He's not completely reliable. I'm afraid that someday he may escape from the house and so do some damage that would seriously upset our plans.
Yes, that could easily happen.
The local inhabitants are unfriendly enough as it is.
I know. Sheriff Ramsey was warning me about that tonight. All right, I'll speak to Professor Clark about it tomorrow.
Ah, good. Then I'll show you to your room now, if you wish.
Yes. I am sleepy.
If you'll just come this way.
His mind in a whirl of amazement, Dr. Dale retired and finally fell into an uneasy sleep. How long he had slept, he did not know. When abruptly he woke with a scream ringing in his ears.
Help! Dick! Help! Quick!
The cry came from downstairs. Dr. Dale leaped from his bed and raced down to the lower floor.
Dick! Help! Help me!
In the lower hall, he found Barton hammering on the heavy door of the laboratory.
Professor Clark! Professor Clark, what's wrong?
What's happened?
It's the professor. I heard him call for help.
Yes, so did I. It woke me up.
The door's locked. He must be in there, but there's no sound in there now.
Well, we've got to break the door down.
Yes. Put your shoulder beside mine.
Right. You ready?
Ready.
And shove. Professor Clark, where are you?
Professor Clark. He's not here.
Yes. Here he is, lying on the floor beside the window. He's been murdered.
It was Alpha. It must have been. No one else could have done it.
But where is Alpha?
The window. It's open. He went out that day.
We've got to go after him.
I'm afraid it's hopeless. At night in these woods, we couldn't possibly find him.
No, you're right.
It'll be morning soon. Then I think he'll come back. He knows that he can only go a few more hours before his batteries must be recharged.
Then we can capture him and destroy him. But, Barton, why did he kill the man who created it?
The professor must have come down to the laboratory for some reason. Occasionally, when he couldn't sleep, he would do that. He may have decided to make some more tests of Alpha.
Yes, but that doesn't explain
During the test, something must have occurred. When Alpha returns, we can find out.
Poor Professor Clark. Well, we'll have to notify the police.
There's only the sheriff. In any case, I think we should wait till morning and then report the professor's death as an accident.
An accident?
Yes. If the authorities learn the truth, our research may be stopped. And when Professor Clark has achieved so much, can we let it go for nothing?
No, of course not.
Dr. Dale, we must carry on his work for him.
Yes, that's what he would want.
Then you will help me continue it? You'll stay?
Yes. Yes, I'll stay.
Greatly upset by the tragedy, Dr. Dale returned to bed and at last fell into an uneasy sleep, haunted by dreams of Alpha, the metal monster Professor Clark had created. When he awoke, the sun was shining, and he could hear Barton moving about downstairs. He dressed and went down to find Barton getting breakfast ready.
Oh, good morning, Dr. Dale.
Good morning, Barton. Any sign of Alpha?
Not yet.
Well, we ought to start a search for him.
But first, I think you ought to eat breakfast. Everything's ready.
Oh, all right. Some coffee anyway.
Yes. Sit here.
Thank you. I didn't know you were a cook as well as a lab assistant, Barton.
I've learned to do a lot of things since I came here.
Aren't you going to eat, too?
I'm not hungry. I seldom am. But I thought that while you ate, I might outline some of the problems facing us.
That's a good idea.
You see, though Alpha's brain is of synthetic protoplasm, it is not completely artificial.
I was wondering about that. Sheriff Ramsey mentioned that the professor secured a human brain
From an executed killer, yes. The professor found that to give life to his artificial brain tissue, it was necessary to add a small amount of tissue from a real brain.
I see. If the real tissue gave life to the rest. Of course.
Yes, but in this instance, it may have tainted Alpha's brain with the murderous impulse of a killer.
Yes, that sounds plausible.
So our first problem will be to obtain untainted brain tissues to blend with the artificial tissues we will make according to the professor's formula.
That should give us no trouble. Well, I can get what we need through the research laboratories where I'm connected.
Then that solves our worst problem. The rest will be matters of detail. Fortunately, there's enough equipment here to build a dozen or so robots.
Like Alpha, you mean?
No. The far more advanced type Professor Clark was perfecting. And now, if you've finished, I have something to show you.
Yes, I'm through. I don't feel much like eating after last night.
Then come with me to the laboratory, and I'll show you the second surprise that Professor Clark had in store for you. Here we are. Now, what I'm going to show you is in this box.
Another robot?
Yes. A second mechanical man the professor built a few months ago. This one, though, was a failure.
You mean it wouldn't work?
It worked too well.
I don't follow.
It was too intelligent. Professor Clark called it Beta. And Beta's brain power was greater than that of any human scientist who ever lived. But Beta was insane.
Good Lord.
He represented, however, a tremendous technical advance. Look.
It looks exactly like a human being.
Yes. Professor Clark used me for a model when he built Beta.
It's an excellent likeness.
Touch the face, Doctor.
All right. It feels smooth and rubbery with a hard surface underneath.
The surface is a new plastic Professor Clark developed with which he could imitate exactly the appearance of human skin. Underneath is an aluminum body on which the plastic was baked.
I see.
Beta's hair, eyes, and teeth are all artificial, too. But he walked and talked and acted so much like a human being that no man alive could have guessed his secret.
No, he would have fooled me completely. And you say he was insane?
From the human viewpoint, yes. He considered himself superior to the human race. With his enormous brain power, he intended to make himself ruler of the world.
You're a joke.
Not in the least. That was why Professor Clark destroyed him just in time. He had made plans to take over this laboratory and construct dozens of mechanical men like himself. And then, with their help, he was going to enslave all mankind.
Barton, if that could happen once, it might happen again. I don't believe we should continue Professor Clark's work after all.
Oh, there's no danger now, Doctor. You see, Beta also had a brain which contained tissues taken from that of the condemned murderer, but we will select the brain tissues from the highest types that are available.
Yes, but even so,
Then, Doctor, we will produce mechanical men, tireless, indestructible, who will be mankind's willing servants, who will solve for man problems he can't solve for himself.
I wonder. In any case, we must proceed with the utmost caution.
Of course. Doctor, listen.
Someone's come into the house.
It's Alpha. He's come back.
Alpha, we may need a weapon, Barton.
No, I can control him. Alpha. Alpha, come here.
Alpha comes.
Alpha, you killed Professor Clark. Why did you do it?
Professor said he would destroy Alpha.
And you killed him because of that?
Alpha does not want to be destroyed.
But you're just a machine. What difference does it make to you?
Alpha is machine that lives. Alpha is stronger than you. Alpha is better than you.
Alpha, be quiet.
We must destroy Alpha at once.
You are right, Doctor. Do you hear, Alpha? You are to be punished.
Alpha here.
But first, we want to know where you've been. Did anyone see you?
Men saw Alpha.
Men saw you? What do you mean?
2 men driving automobile saw him.
And what did they do?
They tried to hit Alpha with automobile.
And then what happened?
Alpha stopped automobile. Alpha killed one man.
Killed him?
Other man ran off in woods. Alpha could not find him. Alpha came back.
We can't keep this a secret. No matter what happens, we must notify the authorities at once.
No, wait, let me think. We can't...
The bell, there's someone at the door.
I'll see who it is. You stay here.
But what about Alpha?
I'll switch off his batteries, then he can't move. There. Now I'll see who's at the door.
Dr. Dale waited while Barton went to the door. He heard the door open and recognized the excited voice of Sheriff Ramsey speaking. Then a moment later, Barton came back into the laboratory, followed by the sheriff, who held a revolver in his hand.
But, Sheriff, if you'd only let me explain...
Never mind that. You're coming with me, both of you.
Dr. Dale, perhaps you can reason with the sheriff. He insists that we're under arrest.
Yes, and I'm taking you to the lockup. The professor, too. Where is he?
Professor Clark is dead, Sheriff.
Dead.
He was killed last night when an experiment he was engaged in went wrong.
An experiment, huh? I suppose it was an experiment that crushed the life out of him. It crushed the life out of Jed Thompson an hour ago down the road and scared Fred Jennings so bad all he can do is jabber about monsters.
It's true. The thing that killed both the professor and Thompson is an experiment. It's standing there behind...
Behind... A machine. A man made out of machinery.
Oh, don't be alarmed, Sheriff. It's perfectly harmless now. It is a machine man which Professor Clark built. Unfortunately, it got out of control.
I don't believe it.
I don't blame you, Sheriff, but that's the truth.
I think I can convince you.
What are you doing? Stand still.
I'm simply going to switch Alpha on. There. Now he can move and speak as well as you and me.
That thing talk? You're lying. You're up to something.
Alpha, will you tell the sheriff that it was you who killed Mr. Thompson?
Alpha killed him. He tried to hit Alpha with car.
So that's what the professor was up to all this time. Building that thing.
Now, Sheriff, surely you realize that we are not murderers.
Maybe not, but you'll come to jail just the same. You're partly responsible anyhow.
But, Sheriff...
Anyway, it's for your own protection. There's a mob on its way out here from town. They're going to burn this place down. I got to put you in jail for your own safety. They're ready to lynch you right now.
Burn the place down?
That's what I said. So turn that machine thing off and come along. We ain't got much time.
No. All this equipment, machinery, the professor's notes, they must not be destroyed. We must stop them.
Yes, Sheriff. The lost of science...
Never mind science. You got your own skins to worry about. That mob means business. Let's get started.
I'm afraid we can't do that, Sheriff.
You can't. I got a 6-shooter here that says different.
We have no choice, Barton.
Oh, yes, we have. Alpha, take the gun away from this man.
What are you doing? Stop him! Stop him, or else... No! Let me go! Stop him!
Too late. Too late, Dr. Dale. He's dead.
Alpha crushed him.
Yes, Dr. Dale.
Now, you're a murderer.
In a good cause. The life of one man or of a dozen men cannot stand in my way.
You don't expect me to keep silent about this, do
I
you?
think you will. Alpha. Alpha.
He doesn't answer.
His batteries have gone dead. That last burst of energy must have drained them dry. But it makes no difference.
I think it does. A big difference. There, see this? It's Sheriff Ramsey's revolver with 3 bullets still in it. Now put your hands up.
I must explain something to you, Doctor.
You can talk, but if you move, I'll shoot.
I only want to say that nothing is going to interfere with my plan to build more of the improved form of robots that Professor Clark perfected before his death. Robots who look and act so much like men, no one can detect them.
They'll never be built. I intend to destroy all of Professor Clark's notes.
They will be built by me. I shall build 10, 100, 1,000. Then I shall lead them with their superior intelligence to the mastery of the world.
You're mad. Of course I should have guessed.
No, Doctor, that's not the answer. I shall tell you the truth. And then you must die.
Stand still or I'll shoot.
You remember last night when the professor said he had another surprise for you? An even greater surprise than Alpha?
Yes.
That surprise, Doctor, was Beta, the second robot. So perfect it looked like a man, but so intelligent that human beings were as children in comparison.
But Beta was destroyed.
No, Doctor, Beta was not destroyed. But you must be destroyed.
Stand back. Stand back, I say. All right, then I'll shoot.
And now, Doctor, your bullets are gone.
You aren't even hurt.
Bullets cannot harm me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Beta, the second robot, was not destroyed.
But I saw him.
What you saw was only an initial attempt that failed. The real Beta still exists. You see, Dr. Dale, I am Beta.
You?
Yes, I, too, am a mechanical man. And now, you must die.
No. No, stay away from me. Stay away!
This is the mysterious traveler again. What happened to Dr. Dale? Why, he's still alive, but of course under observation in a hospital. In fact, it was he who told me the story. You see, the mob that was coming to burn down the house arrived just in time to save him. But Barton, or Beta as he called himself, escaped. He could hardly have survived all those bullets if he had been human, could he? I wonder if the story is true. Do you suppose that somewhere a strange individual who is really a robot is making other mechanical men, preparing to carry out Barton's plan to rule the world? Oh, you haven't time to talk about it now. You're getting off here. Well, I'm sorry. But perhaps we'll meet again soon. I take this same train every week at this same time.
You just heard Chapter 19 of The Mysterious Traveler, a series of dramas of the strange and terrifying brought to you each week by station WOR. In tonight's story, Beware of Tomorrow, Will Hare played Dr. Dale and Don Randolph played Barton. Also featured were Maurice Tarplin and Philip Clark. The Mysterious Traveler, written by Bob Arthur and David Cogan, is directed by Jock McGregor. Original music was played by Doc Whipple. Listen next week to a tale titled
The Accusing Corpse.
Another Tale of the Mysterious Traveler. The Mysterious Traveler is presented over WOR Mutual every Sunday at 7 over most of these stations. This is Mutual.
It's intermission time at the Bah Ghoulie Show. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for some hot popcorn? How's about your favorite soft drinks, which are sparkling cold? And there's all kinds of candy to tempt you. It's radio time, folks. Enjoy the rest of the program. Hope you're enjoying today's radio program. When it's done, be sure to check out our channel over at Watchwaddle. Enjoy some tunes with a nice cold soda. Hope you're enjoying today's radio program. When it's done, be sure to check out our channel over at Watchwaddle. Enjoy some tunes with a nice cold soda.
Grab a Coke, cup or bottle. Don't forget to Watchwaddle.
Now, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. In a moment, Act One of Doom Machine, starring Leon Janney as Dr. Ferris, and written especially for Suspense by Edgar Marvin. It's 8 o'clock in the morning in the year 2500. On the outskirts of the great city is a large one-story house. In one wing of this house is the laboratory of Dr. Atlee Ferris, who is seated behind an enormous horseshoe-shaped desk, studded with levers and small blinking instrument panels.
Morning, Dr. Ferris.
Good morning, Jack.
I tried to work out those calculations you left as best I could. I hope I have them figured right, sir.
Never mind, I won't be able to use them anyway. I lost the train of thought on that wide pattern we were following.
Oh, it's too bad, Dr. Ferris. You were so far advanced on it.
Well, I'm only human, Jack. I'm not a machine. In fact, my humanity practically conspires against me. The level of concentration I need is fantastic, Jack. But I'm not pure brain. There are disturbances, distractions, emotional upheavals.
That's what life is, Dr. Ferris. We can't avoid that.
But if there were pure brain, Jack, a mind that would hold pure thought and nothing else, that would carry out the logical sequence of thoughts into action without any deviation from its purpose, regardless of any distraction or human consideration.
There's no such thing, Dr. Ferris. It would be monstrous.
Perhaps, but it would succeed in its work. Whereas we, because we're human, too often are distracted and fail.
I'd rather fail than be just a brain.
Yes, because you're human. And you won't admit that creatures with a pure brain would be superior to you. Well, back to your work, Jack. I'm just talking to myself anyway. He doesn't understand how limited the human mind is. Yes, that's it. That's what I need. A brain that isn't human. Third audio box entry, July 7th. The first parts for my new project arrived today, and I immediately began assembly. The job is going to be bigger than I expected. My original plans didn't call for motive power, but now I see that everything will be impossible unless there is force of action. Sixth audio box entry, July 20th. Sally is bursting with curiosity. But she knows enough now not to come near my workroom. Perhaps I should prepare her for the fact that we are going to have a guest in the house. 13th audio box entry, August 27th. This is probably the last report I shall make. There is complete mobility, and the concentration chamber has been sealed. Not even I could get it to change a thought once the decision trap is shut. Communicative power is slow, but there is no faltering of expression. The last thing is the will. I shall test that tomorrow. The final test.
I hear something. Is that it, Dr. Ferris?
I ordered it to report to me here in the laboratory at 10 o'clock. What time is it now, Jack?
It's just 10, Dr. Ferris. Is it safe?
We'll know in a moment.
I am here, Master.
It's enormous. The most enormous robot I've ever seen.
This isn't just a robot. Inside that enormous metal body is the most advanced electronic brain ever devised. Pure brain. Maximum electronic mentality. That's what we'll call him. Max.
I could think of other names.
The real thing, Jack, is his power of concentration. His will is tied directly to action. He does whatever he decides. Nothing can stop him. Nothing can distract him. His will is as strong as the titanium he's made of. He's perfect, Jack. Perfect.
Yes, he's perfect, Dr. Ferris. You've got what you wanted, a brain that isn't human. A thing completely without emotions.
Look at Daddy's laboratory, Philip. Isn't it immense?
You can see and hear everything from this control room.
Is that the robot, Mr. Ferris?
Yes, that's Max. Well, what do you think of him?
He's amazing.
He operates himself, Philip. He's not just a robot. He's a thinking machine. He's figuring out the solar energy formula right now. Jack does the manual work.
You mean the man takes orders from the robot?
Jack's not in Max's class when it comes to pure thought.
Oh, Daddy, it's humiliating to take orders from a machine.
Yeah? And what's your opinion, you brilliant young physicist, Philip?
Well, as a scientist, Dr. Ferris, I have to admit admiration for your robot, Max. But speaking as a human being, I think I'd resent taking orders from it, too. I mean, having it on a pedestal.
Well, that's where Max belongs. He can do the mental job, and Jack can't. Therefore, Max leads and Jack follows. I'm not interested in your so-called human values. I have no more feelings about them than Max has. The superior always lead the inferior. That's the way it is, and that's the way it has to be.
Dr. Ferris, I can't stand it anymore. I'm not working for you. I'm working for a machine, an iron monster.
Oh, now don't be
He knows
foolish.
it, too. I can feel it. He's cocky, Dr. Ferris. He gloats over us.
Well, that's how you feel, Jack. Max has no emotions. He's just doing a job.
I don't want to be a part of it.
But it's going to succeed, Jack. Max is going to accomplish in a month what you and I have been working on for 3 years. I'm going to fly to the Capitol tomorrow to report on our progress. You can't quit now. I'm depending on you.
How long will you be away?
Oh, a few days, maybe a week. And the final test of the formula may come while I'm gone. You have to be here.
Well, if we're that close to the end, I suppose I can stick it out.
Fine. Now, if the test should come while I'm gone, I want you to record all the steps on the AudioVox tape recorder.
I'll remember.
Oh, and Jack, there may be some danger. You're going to be trapping the energy of the sun right in the laboratory. Radiation will be intense. Now, be sure you set the thermal drums in back of the solar tube so you can graph the heat measurement. The main thing, of course, is to be positive the formula's correct before you throw the switch.
How much chance I'll have to figure that. Max makes all the decisions.
Well, that's the one reason I'm not worried about the danger, Jack. You can trust Max. Whatever you think of him, you know that.
I suppose so.
Well, it's important that you believe in him. His mind, Jack, his pure electronic brain will do more for humanity than generations of emotional beings like us.
Home 23.
Home 23.
Omega 15.
Omega 15.
Thermodyne 24.
Thermodyne 24.
Set rheostat control.
Set rheostat. Max, that's it. That's the test for solar energy, the final test.
Set rheostat control.
You sure we're ready for it, Max? Let me look over the formula.
Formula is right.
Well, at least let me see it.
Do now.
Now? Is there any reason why we must finish it this afternoon? We've been working all day. I want to look over the formula tonight and tomorrow.
Must finish. Must finish.
All right. Nothing stops you. Let me turn on the AudioVox tape recorder so we can record the steps. Not a chance to get anywhere arguing with a machine. Never tired, no emotions, no feelings. After this test, I'm through. Dr. Ferris will know I'm walking out.
Set rheostat control.
Just a minute. There. Now I'll check the thermal drums. We're graphing.
Set thermal panel.
Check.
Increase. Raise. Thermal 8. radial flux.
Boy, it's hot. We must be tapping the sun. Look at that control panel spin.
Thermal 10, radial flux 8. Thermal 12, radial flux 9.
Max, it's getting too hot. I don't think we can get any more increase.
Thermal 14, radial flux 10.
No, Max, it won't work. I see it now. We're absorbing too much heat in the tube. We're not channeling out.
Thermal 16.
I'm afraid, Max. I'm afraid. Max is shooting heat rays. Max!
Jack gone. Heat over maximum. Need new formula.
Wonderful, Max, wonderful. It's running on solar energy. With this machine alone, this laboratory model, we could power 100 factories.
Heat too high.
Yes, I checked the thermal drums. The heat is too high, but we can fix that. Take a little work, but we can do it. You have no idea where Jack is?
Jack gone.
Yes, you told me that, but where? Well, I suppose he skipped out. He's been threatening that for a long while. Fine time to do it, though. That's human loyalty for you, and he used to say you couldn't be trusted because you had no feelings. Nothing would stop you from finishing a job. No petty human considerations.
Check audio box.
Yes, good idea, Max. I want to hear the steps in this experiment.
Not a chance to get anywhere arguing with the machine.
Yes, that's Jack.
Never tired, no emotions, no feelings. After this test, I'm through. Dr. Ferris or no, I'm walking out.
Yeah, just as I thought. Good riddance.
Set rheostat control.
Just a minute.
Nah. I don't want to hear any more of this. Don't worry, Max. I'll get you another assistant. Nobody worthy of you, I'm afraid. Just another human being like Jack. But you'll be able to use his arms anyway, won't you, Max?
Yes, Master.
Look, Sally, I appreciate the chance to work with your father, but I just couldn't take orders from Max.
Philip, I think you're wrong. I really do think that this time you're wrong.
Listen, why do you think Jack quit? Besides, your father never liked me, and this is his opportunity to make a fool of me.
But Daddy was very disappointed in Jack. This is your chance to make good in his eyes, patch everything up.
Oh, I don't know.
Besides, the work is so important. You keep telling me yourself how brilliant Daddy is.
Yeah, sure, but...
When this work is completed, Philip, it will mean all sorts of honors
Will you
for
listen
him.
for a minute?
It can be the making of you as a scientist. Oh, for my sake, take the job.
You make it very hard to refuse.
Then don't refuse, Philip. I can call Daddy back.
All right, darling. For your sake, call him back.
Now, Philip, the one problem we had was the excess of heat vibration in the thermal tube itself. I checked over Max's new formula to decrease that, and I think he's got it. I've given him instructions based on that new formula. I want you to follow Max's orders completely. I'm jetting out to the Capitol again with a member of the National Thermal Committee, and I'm sure you can handle the work in my absence.
Well, I don't see why not. The way it looks, I'd only be an extra pair of hands for Max.
Just so. A very apt bit of phrasing, Philip.
Well, Max and I might as well get to work.
Fine. Max will show you how to regulate the thermal drums. Good luck.
I'm afraid we've been keeping you from concluding your experiments, Dr. Ferris, having you report to the Capitol so often.
On the contrary, Dr. Larkin, I'm in the fortunate position of being able to place my work in even more capable hands than mine.
Oh?
I don't suppose you've heard of Max.
Max?
Primary field 23.
Primary field 23.
Secondary field 19. Coil 64.
Secondary field 19, coil 64.
Circumference 20 degrees.
Circumference 20 degrees. But Ferris, you can't be serious. Rain like that is a monstrosity. It's inhuman.
Of course it's inhuman. That's the grandeur of it. No feelings, no emotions, nothing to distract it. Just pure scientific thought at the service of humanity.
But a thing like that cannot serve humanity, Dr. Ferris. It's wrong somehow.
We've always used mechanical servants, Dr. Larkin. Why, this very jet ship...
Oh, no. Not to make decisions for us. It's a mistake to grant free will to any mind untempered by feelings and emotions. There's something immoral about it.
Well, but that's just the beauty of it, Dr. Larkin. Precisely because he has no feelings, Max can never make mistakes.
Sorry, I don't believe it. No machine in the world operates to perfection.
But Max isn't a machine. Max is pure brain, self-corrected, undistracted. Here, let me show you. Just look at the perfection of his latest formula.
Ohm 22.
Ohm 22.
Omega 1 4.
Omega 1 4.
See? So he bases his new rheostat setting on Ohm 22, Omega 1 4.
Omega? Why Omega, Dr. Ferris? Isn't that a similar ratio?
Good Lord. Good Lord.
What's the matter?
Oh, no. Larkin, Max has repeated the same mistake. It's as high a ratio as the other. It'll build heat rather than dissipate it. If Philip goes near the thermal control with that formula, he'll be cremated, burnt to an ash.
Oh, Dr. Ferris, are you sure?
Unfortunately, I'm very sure. That's what happened to Jack. He was... Oh, no. Larkin, I've got to go back. I've got to get back in time. If we don't get there in time, I'll be a murderer, Larkin. You hear? A murderer.
Rheostat control.
Rheostat control.
Thermal panel.
Set thermal panel. Well, Max, this is the big one, isn't it? We're all set to drag in the blazing sun. You know you're not half bad to work with after a fellow becomes used to your infernal arrogance.
Set thermal panel.
And your infernal driving. There. All right, Max, old boy, fire away. We're on to glory.
Increase, raise, thermal 8, radial flux 6.
Thermal 8, radial flux 6. Wow, this certainly builds up heat fast.
Thermal 12, radial flux 9.
Thermal 12, radial... Oh.
Thermal 14, radial flux 10.
Thermal 14. Machine's awfully hot, Max. There. Max, listen. I don't know about this. It's getting awfully hot.
Philip, get away from that machine.
Dr. Ferris, what's wrong?
He's shooting thermal rays. You'll be cremated, burned to an ash. Into the control room, quick.
Hey, easy.
Now, stay there. The inso glass walls will shield you.
Thermal 16, radial flux 12.
Max is going to the thermal panel. I've got to stop him.
Oh, please, Dr. Ferris, you'll be killed yourself.
Now stay in there. Don't come out. Now, Max, listen to me. Your new formula was wrong. Wrong. Don't touch the thermal panel. You'll be destroyed. Stop, Max. Do you hear me?
Not stop until finished.
But not if you've made a mistake. Now stop, Max. Stop.
Dr. Ferris, he can't stop. Nothing will stop him. That's the way you built him. He's only a machine. He has no understanding.
No, he's not just a machine. He's pure brain. He must understand. Now, Max, listen. Your formula is wrong. You'll destroy yourself. Everything you've accomplished will be destroyed with you.
Not stop not stop.
Good Lord. He's found the switch. Dr. Ferris, come in here, quickly!
Oh, the idiot monster! Dr. Larkin was right. It is something immoral, an inflexible electronic brain. No emotions, no soul, no reason. It's my fault, mine.
Dr. Ferris! Look out! He's throwing the switch, Dr. Ferris!
No, Max, no!
Suspense. You've been listening to Doom Machine, starring Leon Janney as Dr. Ferris, and written especially for Suspense by Edgar Marvin. Suspense is produced and directed by Bruno Zerato Jr., music supervision by Ethel Huber. Featured in tonight's story were Cliff Carpenter, Elaine Rost, Bernard Grant, and Eugene Francis. Listen again next week when we return with Heads You Lose, written by Robert Arthur. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. The Singing is Easy on The Richard Hayes Show, weeknights on the CBS Radio Network.
It's intermission time at the Bah Ghoulie Show. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for some hot popcorn? How's about your favorite soft drinks, which are sparkling cold? And there's all kinds of candy to tempt you. It's radio time, folks. Enjoy the rest of the program. Hope you're enjoying today's radio program. When it's done, be sure to check out our channel over at Watchwaddle. Enjoy some tunes with a nice cold soda. This week, guest quacking on the Bah Ghoulie Show, Waddle the Duck. And here's Waddle. Hey folks, Waddle from Watchwaddle here. Hope you're enjoying today's radio program. And if you're considering getting a new radio to listen to them, why not get one with the newest innovation, the 4-speed record player? Because available now is our newest hits from Watchwaddle Production. Check out me and the gang and our hilarious, zany, and crazy tunes, filled with spoofs, gags, and jokes. Available in our playlist collection. Check them out for some cheap laughs and running gags. Well, and when we say running gags, we ain't kidding, brother. Screwy Forrest's Watchwaddle cartoons. Available on Channel Watchwaddle. The Bah Ghoulie Show is brought to you by OTR Halloween Holidays.
Adventures in time and space, told in future tense.
Dimension
Have you ever heard of the Mark III? The amazing electronic brain they're using now up at Harvard University. In mere minutes, it can solve scientific problems that our most brilliant mathematicians would take years to work out. Its intelligence is almost superhuman. And yet the scientists are already working on a new and improved model, the Mark IV. In fact, they tell us there's no earthly reason why these thinking robots can't be perfected until they become the servants of the future, capable of doing all the work of mankind. That's what the advertising billboard said in the year 2006. Housework made easy by the perfect domestic servant. Modern Mechanicals Agency, Harry Underhill, President. The billboard showed a smiling family, sitting with folded hands, watching their mechanical robot pour their morning coffee. But in the home of Harry Underhill himself, things weren't quite as pleasant at breakfast this day.
I just can't understand it, Aurora. Look at this. Modern Mechanical's down 3 points. Yesterday, Smithson canceled his order. If I could only figure out why.
Why don't you ask him? Well, Frank, there, eat your oatmeal. Oh, Mom.
I just don't understand it. Business was good, and then boom. Some louse must be undercutting my prices, that's all.
How many robots were canceled?
Not robots. Mechanicals, Aurora. How many times...
They are robots, aren't they?
Please, Aurora, there's an important difference in sales psychology.
Maybe people are getting wise to your robots and mechanicals.
What do you mean, Aurora?
The perfect domestic servant. They're ugly, stupid, clumsy, walking junk piles.
Aurora.
The one you brought home to me can't even wash the clothes properly. It's more trouble than it's worth.
Aurora, you know our mechanicals are the best on the market.
Those animated tin cans you sell? They're certainly not making us any fortune.
Well, with this new model, things are bound to pick up a little. That Jarvis order just comes through.
Oh, that robot of yours. There's something knocking again.
Hey, wait. Put that plate back. I haven't finished my breakfast yet. Wait!
Harry, you know you've got to say stop. 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 You always get excited. You think you never saw a robot before.
Not robot, mechanical.
All right. Look, it's not its fault. We just took too long to eat. Timing relay is set for 15 minutes.
Well, never mind. I want my coffee back. Set. There. Isn't that simple? It bends at the waist, stretches out its arm, and picks up the coffee pot just as if it were yours. Hey, watch out!
And spills it right in your lap.
Oh, my clean suit, Aurora. Oh, no.
Harry, you know it's relayed to announce dinner after it sets the table.
Hey, there goes my coffee again. Stop. Set.
Harry, you can't give it 2 orders at once.
What's that smell?
It must be a short. Now see what you've done. Got it all upset.
I did. All I said was...
Harry!
Stop! Oh, it's no use. The brain coil's shorted out.
Oh, do something. Harry, do something.
I sure will. I'm going to the office. I'm getting out of here. Yes, Lucy?
Mr. Jarvis,
Oh, put him on.
Hello, Underhill?
Hello, Mr. Jarvis. I'm glad you called. I was just going to ring you. Well, I've got that whole shipment of mechanicals for you. 1 gross plane, 12 of the chromium fitted.
Hold on, Underhill. I'm canceling the order.
But the invoice is made out, and
Well, tear it up. I'm canceling.
But why?
Underhill, there's a brand new mechanical on the market that makes yours look like something out of a museum.
Oh, now, look here, Mr.
Don't
Jarvis.
now look me, Underhill. I've seen them, and I'm telling you it'll put you out of business. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yes, Mr. Underhill?
That's the 3rd cancellation today. The world's going to pot.
Yes, Mr. Underhill?
No, never mind, Lucy. I'm going home. What a day. I wonder if Aurora'd smell it on me if I ducked into Garrigan's. She's got a nose like a beagle. Hey, that building wasn't here last week. Humanoid Institute. The perfect mechanical. Oh, no. We didn't have enough competition. Hey, these must be the cutthroats that are underselling me.
At your service, Mr. Underhill.
Huh? Oh, you startled me. Didn't hear you. Hey, you're a mechanical, aren't you? Not bad. Very lifelike.
Won't you come in, please, and examine our service?
Yeah, that's a remarkable voice. They've licked the variable inflection problem. You know, I'm in the same line myself. Of mechanicals, I mean.
We're aware of that, sir.
Oh? Hey, some building you've got here. You sure got it up in a hurry.
The Humanoid Institute at your service, Mr. Underhill.
Yes? Oh, how'd you know my name?
For us, that was not difficult.
Oh, is that so? Oh, wait a minute. This is ridiculous. Talking to a mechanical. Must be somebody inside operating you by remote control.
No, Mr. Underhill. Of course, there is Humanoid Central, which powers and controls all of us, but that is located on Wing 4.
Wing 4?
A planet in a remote part of the galaxy.
Oh, yeah. Well, may I see your salesman, please?
We employ no human salesman, sir. We ourselves can accept your order for immediate humanoid service.
Oh, wait a minute. You can't expect me to buy one. I'm in the business myself.
There will be no more need for your electronic mechanicals, sir. Once you have accepted our service, you will no longer have to work. Everything will be done for you.
Everything? That's quite an offer. At that rate, you'll have trouble supplying the demand.
I think not, sir. As you can see from our storage room. Humanoids are now arriving at the rate of 5,000 per hour from Wing 4.
5,000 per hour?
We are anxious to introduce our complete service on this planet, sir, to bring happiness to everyone. May we come out to your home for a free trial demonstration?
No, I admit you're remarkable. The voice and movement, graceful even. But I'm still in business, and what's more, I wouldn't have you around the house.
I'm afraid you will have no choice. Sooner or later, it will be necessary.
Oh, is that so? Over my dead body. Let me out of here.
At your service, Mr. Underhill.
Well, it's going to be tough competition, all right. I'm going to stop in at Garrigan's, the devil with Aurora's nose.
Pop.
Hello, Frank. How was the football game?
We won 78-3. Guess what, Pop?
You made all the touchdowns.
Nope. Mom took in a boarder.
He what? Aurora!
She said if your business was going to fall on his face, she had to do something to make some money.
Oh, she did, huh?
Harry, what's all the racket for?
You tell me. What's this about a boarder?
Harry, he's going to live in that little apartment over the garage.
Oh, no, he isn't. You know I don't want any strangers around here.
Harry, please. Shh. Look, he won't bother you. He's a nice old man.
Oh.
He just wanted a room and a place to work. He's an inventor, I think.
No, he is he? Did he pay in advance?
Well, he can't. You see, his royalties haven't started to come in.
Mm-hmm. Aurora, how can you be taken in by every beat-up old panhandler that gives you a sob story?
Mr. Sledge isn't like that at all. Oh, that reminds me, dear. Can you give me a 10?
A 10? What for?
Well, Mr. Sledge is ill. He needs some medicine for his heart, and I said I'd lend him the money.
You get... Oh, Aurora, this is the limit. He goes out right now.
Now, don't be unkind, Harry. Besides, we need the rent money.
Things aren't that bad yet. He goes.
Please.
What are you shushing me for?
Mr. Sledge, he's in the next room. I've invited him for dinner. Frank, dear, wipe your mouth.
Oh, Mom.
More gravy, Mr. Sledge?
No, thank you, Mrs. Underhill.
Mr. Sledge, my wife tells me you're a traveling man. Expect to move on soon?
Harry.
I had hoped to do a little work, Mr. Underhill. You see, I've applied for basic patents here on Earth for a very important development.
Oh, a new invention, huh?
Yes. My field is rhodomagnetics.
What?
Rhodomagnetics. It's a new force field theorem, key to the second triad of the periodic table. Rhodium, ruthenium, and palladium.
I'm afraid I'm a little rusty on my science.
It's well known in other parts of the galaxy, but I've been able to apply for basic patents here.
Worth millions, huh?
Perhaps you find it strange that the holder of such valuable property should be in need.
Well, yes.
I'm a refugee, Mr. Underhill. I arrived on this planet only a few days ago.
Mm-hmm. But you will be shoving on again.
Oh, for goodness sakes, Harry.
That's all right, Mrs. Underhill. I understand. After all, I am an intruder in your home. And if it inconveniences you at all, I'll find some other place to sleep and set up my workshop.
Harry, your robot is spilling the coffee again.
I'll have to have it tightened up.
Why doesn't your company bring out a better mechanical? One smart enough not to spill things. Wouldn't that be splendid?
The perfect mechanical already exists, Mrs. Underhill. They're not so splendid, really. They are why I am a refugee today.
Oh? Where'd you say you came from?
Wing 4.
Wing 4? Oh, then you must mean those humanoids. Humanoids.
Mr. Sledge.
Humanoids. What do you know about them?
Well, they just opened an agency here in Two Rivers.
No. No.
Harry.
What is it? What's wrong, Mr. Sledge?
Give him some water. It must be his heart.
Call Dr. Winters, Aurora.
No. I'll be all right.
Here, you better sit down.
I'm sorry. It was just shock. I came here to get away from them.
The humanoids?
Yes. I wanted to finish my work before they came. But now, I won't trouble you any further.
But, Mr. Sledge, Harry, he's sick.
Well, Mr. Sledge, I don't think you'll have to go right away.
He can stay, Harry.
Sure, after all, the way those humanoids are coming along, I'm liable to become a refugee myself any minute. Guess we might as well stick together, eh, Sledge?
Oh, that's better. Oh, you look ill, Professor. Maybe you ought to lie down on the sofa and rest.
No, thank you. I must get back to my workshop now. I haven't got time to rest. There's so little time left for all of us.
Good morning, Mr. Underhill.
Good morning.
Mr. Underhill, you look awful.
I feel awful. What's in the mail?
6 more cancellations. The Eat Quick restaurant chain sent back your shipment. They've installed humanoids. Mr. McIntyre from the bank called. He's refusing your loan. He said since Humanoid Institute opened, you're a bad credit risk.
Good.
I guess that's all. Oh, there's something to see you.
At your service, Mr. Underhill.
You? Oh, no, you're not the same one, are you? Serial number's different.
It doesn't matter, sir. We're all really one. Now, in exchange for our complete service, you will assign all your property to Humanoid Institute.
I will what?
With our service, you will have no need for property. Everything will be provided.
What kind of blackmail is this?
No blackmail, sir. You will find humanoids incapable of committing any crime. We exist only to increase the happiness of mankind.
Thanks, but I can take care of my own business.
You have no choice, really. With humanoid service, it is no longer necessary for men to take care of themselves. Our function is to serve and obey and guard men from harm.
Get out.
Very well, sir. When you wish to sign, let us know.
Get out. Get out. Aurora, I'm home.
At your service, Mr. Underhill.
What's the idea of this? You get out of here. Aurora!
Mrs. Underhill has accepted our free trial demonstration. We cannot leave unless she requests.
We'll see about that. Aurora, where the devil are you?
Oh, hello, Harry.
What's this mechanical doing here? What's happened to you?
Isn't it wonderful? Had my hair done, the manicure. The humanoid did it. And cleaned the house all over, washed all the clothes, and gave Frank his music lesson.
Now, wait a minute, Aurora. I won't have this monster in my house.
Oh, it's just a free trial, Harry. Just wait till you taste the dinner it cooked. Everything you like best. Roast duck.
I don't care if he cooked a duck.
And the most complicated pastries. I could never cook like that.
Well, might as well eat. Well, I'll need a drink first, though.
All right,
I'm sorry, sir.
What?
We exist under the prime directive to guard men from harm. Alcoholic beverages in excess are bad for human consumption. We have taken the liberty of removing them from the house.
Now, look here.
Mr. Underhill, dinner is served.
Yes, Lucy?
They're here, Mr. Underhill.
I've been expecting them for a week. All right, Lucy.
At your service, Mr. Underhill. We have the legal papers here, the bankruptcy forms, the eviction notice. We are ready now to foreclose your agency.
Okay, take it over. A lot of good it'll do you. I haven't made a sale in 2 weeks.
And now, if you will make the assignment of all your personal property, we can complete our service to you.
What if I won't sign?
That would be unfortunate. But with stubborn cases, we must sometimes resort to other methods. Eventually, Mr. Underhill, you will sign.
Of all the darn stinking darn...
Whoa, Frank, what's the matter? What's the trouble, son?
That old humanoid.
Oh, you're not happy? You should be. It's guaranteed.
They took away my football. They said it was too dangerous to play with it. And my roller skates and my scout knife and everything.
Did they leave you anything?
Just some stinking old plastic blocks. Soft blocks. They said I couldn't get hurt with them. Dad, I want my football back. Can't you do anything?
I don't know, son. I don't know.
Oh, Mr. Underhill.
Mind if I come in, Sledge?
No, not at all. You mind if I keep working?
Oh, go right ahead. It's good to see somebody working with his hands.
Something wrong?
My son. The humanoids took his football away. They're everywhere. They've smashed my business, taken over my house. Sledge, isn't there some way to get rid of them?
That is exactly what I am trying to do.
You? What makes you think you can do anything?
Because, you see, Mr. Underhill, I'm the unfortunate fool who started them.
You? I don't understand.
I started the humanoids. And I've been running from them ever since.
You started them?
Yes, I invented them. I built the ronomagnetic relays that operate Humanoid Central.
But why?
I wanted to bring happiness to humanity.
Happiness? That's great. My wife's been crying for 2 days, and do you know why? Because she's bored stiff. There's nothing left for her to do. They won't even let her lift a little finger.
I don't blame you for feeling bitter, Mr. Underhill. It's all my fault. I wanted them to serve and obey, guard men from harm.
No, they do that all right. They've even emptied our medicine chest. It wouldn't do for one of us happy humans to end it all with a sleeping pill.
Mr. Underhill, I've made the most terrible mistake a man can make. But I meant well, believe me.
Then why did you do it?
I thought I could rid the universe of poverty and hunger by inventing the perfect mechanical.
They're perfect, all right. Too perfect.
Yes. That's the trouble. They obey the prime directive too literally. They kill men's souls with their kindness.
Isn't there some way they can be controlled?
No. I didn't trust mankind, so I made sure that Humanoid Central could not be tampered with. Not even by myself.
Then what hope is there?
Only one. They are not creative. They can't meet new ideas.
You mean you've got one, Sledge?
Yes. They can defeat anything they know about. But I've got something new. A weapon to attack the brain of Humanoid Central.
Is that what you've been working on?
Yes. Now that they're here, there's little time left. Either we destroy them, or they will destroy us.
Okay. What has to be done?
This tuning circuit.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I need 2 bus bars here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can you read these diagrams?
I think so. Got my degree in electronics.
Good. If you could help on the bench work, it would save time.
I've got plenty of time now.
All right. But watch yourself. Don't let them see you come out here.
If you can take the risk, so can I.
No. As the inventor, I built a special immunity for myself into Humanoid Central. But you don't have that immunity. They're rather unpleasant methods of dealing with their enemies. They can change you, you know.
Change me? How?
Brain surgery.
What do you mean?
Never mind. Just be careful.
Mr. Underhill.
What do you want?
You're going to meet with Mr. Sledge?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm going to collect the rent.
Mr. Underhill, you have spent the past 2 afternoons in his room. In view of your association with Mr. Sledge, we feel that our free trial must be terminated. We suggest that you accept our total service and make the assignment of your property immediately.
And if I don't?
Then, sir, we may be forced to resort to other methods.
Well, Give me one more day to think it over.
Very well, sir. Tomorrow. That will be your last chance.
Who is it?
Underhill.
Did they see you?
No, not today. Sledge, we've got to hurry.
It's difficult work, Mr. Underhill, but I'm almost finished.
They gave me till today. They said they'd use other methods.
What's that?
The humanoids building some kind of a warehouse across the road. Sledge, are you sure this thing will work?
It's a new principle, Underhill. A tuned rhodomagnetic light beam. It should act to fission the heavy atoms of the basic ores on Wing 4. It will destroy humanoid central.
But are you sure?
I know the humanoids. I made them. They can't invent anything. They can't create defenses against something new. It's done. It's finished, Underhill.
You going to use it now?
Immediately. Now I have to feed the astronomical data into the calculating circuits. There must be zero error. Focusing.
What will happen?
Wing 4 will disappear in a chain reaction. Humanoid Central will be destroyed. So stop. Ready now. Stand clear, please. Power's building up. Step on the rubber mat, Mr. Underhill. You must be shielded when I cut into full power load.
Hurry, Sledge.
I've waited 30 years for this moment, Underhill. When Wing 4 is destroyed, the humanoids all over the galaxy will stop. They'll stop dead. You won't hear those drills.
Sledge.
All right. Now. Do you hear anything?
Sledge. Listen. The drills have stopped. They've stopped. You can see them. The humanoids have stopped.
They couldn't guard against something they couldn't understand. It worked, Underhill.
We're free now. Goodbye, Wing 4.
Humanoid Central is destroyed.
At your service, Mr. Underhill.
No, Sledge.
Get out of here. Get out.
You were attempting to break the prime directive. It is therefore necessary to interfere.
But you stopped. I saw you, all of you.
In order to guard against Mr. Sledge's beam, it was necessary to stop all units momentarily to concentrate power. That necessity has passed.
But it was new. You can't invent anything new.
No, sir, but we were able to adapt the screening principle you yourself invented. For the past 30 years, Humanoid Central has been screened against any energy attack.
All these years wasted. All these years?
Your immunity has ended, Mr. Sledge. It will now be necessary for you to accept our full service.
No. No, I'll stop you. I'll stop all of you.
No, Sledge.
I'll stop you with my bare hands. I'll kill you
Sledge.
all.
No, it's no use.
Do not worry, Mr. Underhill. At worst, he can destroy one unit. There are millions more.
Sledge, you'll hurt yourself. Sledge!
I'll kill him.
He's sick as his heart. You, get a doctor.
Until he surrenders, we can neither aid nor hinder Mr. Sledge. Do you surrender your immunity, Mr. Sledge?
Have to. Last chance. Gone. Yes, yes. Help me. Help me.
At your service, Mr. Sledge. You may see Mr. Sledge now, Mr. Underhill.
Alone?
If you wish. In here.
Thanks. Sledge.
Well, Underhill. Good to see you.
Your head. It's bandaged.
Is it really?
They've done something to you. Are you all right?
Oh, fine. Never felt better.
You never felt better?
No. In fact, I feel 10 years younger today.
You sound so happy.
Why not? These humanoids have made a new man of me, Underhill. They're wonderful, aren't they?
Wonderful? How can you say that, Sledge? Only yesterday you hated them. You were trying to destroy them.
Destroy them? Why?
You don't remember? You've forgotten what they're doing to us all? They're killing us with kindness, taking away all our incentive and pride of accomplishment, turning us all into pampered, useless pets, parasites, with nothing left to do but just sit with folded hands at the mercy of these mechanical monsters.
At your service, Mr. Underhill. You seem troubled, Mr. Underhill. Are you unhappy?
Unhappy? You bet I'm unhappy. What have you done to Professor Sledge to turn him into this babbling idiot?
We were forced to operate. For years, Mr. Sledge has been suffering from a benign tumor of the brain. It caused him to have hallucinations, to believe that he was actually the creator of the humanoid.
Did I?
Yes. It was these delusions which were making you unhappy.
Oh. Well, whoever did invent the humanoids, I certainly owe him a debt of gratitude now.
Sledge.
You see, Mr. Underhill, we have ways to correct these abnormal conditions. Even Mr. Sledge is happy now.
You operated on his brain?
Yes, Mr. Underhill. And now we are at your service.
At my service? You mean you're going to operate it? No.
The time has come for you to accept and enjoy our complete service. You will now sign our agreement.
Look here,
If you are unhappy, it only takes a simple operation.
No. Who said I was unhappy? I'm very happy. I'll sign your paper. You don't have to operate on me. I'm happy. I'm very happy. Very happy.
The happy Mr. Underhill's futile hands clenched and relaxed again, and then folded quietly. There was nothing else left for them to do.
You have just heard the Jack Williamson story, With Folded Hands, an adventure in time, space, and the unknown world of the future, the world of Dimension X.
Now, about next week. Do you believe that in the mind of man there lies a force potentially more powerful than the atomic bomb? And perhaps someday, in the not-too-distant future, a man sitting quietly in his room, just thinking, may generate enough mental energy to control the destiny of the world. How? We'll tell you next week.
Tonight's story on Dimension X was adapted for radio by John Dunkel. Featured in the cast were Philip Bourneuf as Harry Underhill, Alexander Scorby as the humanoid, Peter Capell as Professor Sledge, and Bryna Rayburn as Aurora. Your host was Norman Rose.
Thanks for watching the Bah Ghoulie Show by OTR Halloween Holidays. This is Waddle the Duck saying check out Channel Watchwaddle for some fun cartoons with no static.